and I'm doing it, no matter what else happens. In my 4 years in the corporate world, the thing that I took with me, maybe the only thing I took with me, but the thing I took with me was be here now. There was a sign on my boss's desk, and this is actually very ironic now. There was a sign on his desk, and it was this beautiful wood carved sign that said, "Be here now." And every time I would go into his office, he wanted to share a new project with me or whatever the situation was, I remember being so into that "be here now," that's all I could think about and all I could stare at, and I had no idea what he was saying half the time. And I was like, oh, be here now. That's awesome. Oh wait, I'm sorry, what? And I laugh about it now because I'm thinking, wow, how ridiculous is that? But I look at that and I say, I have used that so many times in my life about what it takes to be present and what it really means when I sit with someone eye to eye, face to face, belly to belly, and get back to that kind of conversation and connection. Because today we need that more than ever. We are absolutely, hands down, the most connected technological society ever. But I think we're running the risk of being the most disconnected at the same time. And the importance of being in this room together right now to share this energy and this face-to-face, eye-to-eye beauty of what exists here. You can't get that outside on a smartphone, on an iPad. You can't get that. And while technology is fantastic to bring us to the place where we can do a lot more with less, we're doing a lot more with less. And what would it look like if we got back to that, being the leaders that say, you know what, instead of emailing this, I'm going to walk it over today. And I'm going to actually say hi. And I'm going to share that connection with you in that moment. That's huge. And you know what, once we get off that track, can we get it back? Some people say, I don't know, it's going to be hard. I say yes, of course we can. Because we just have to start doing it. That's where it starts. Ready to talk about failure? Most people are like, oh, no, not really. Okay, this is one of, for me, I think, the most interesting things to talk about as I've studied so much of this in my sports psychology background. I've brought this over into the corporate world because it fits. And we all deal with this every single day. So I'm going to ask you a question. Is failure good or bad? How many of you say failure is bad? Raise your hand. Liars, every single one of you. You're all like, no, that's good. Okay, fine. How many of you say failure is good? Raise your hand. All right. How many of you say failure is both? Raise your hand. Okay. I love the, I'm getting a lot of the this with the heads. What does that mean? Weeble wobble. Bobblehead. Okay, so we're confused about failure. Let's just call it what it is, right? Failure is very confusing. It is. It's very confusing. We are so trained to think failure is good. Aren't we? It's like beat in our head now. Oh no, failure's good. Yes, failure is good. Yes, absolutely. Failure's good. Failure's good. Yeah. We do that to ourselves. So if you raise your hand for failure is good or both, go ahead and put your hand up. Come on, raise them up. Raise them proud. Okay, very good. Oh, I didn't say put them down. Raise them up. Now, we're not doing push-ups. You're just holding your hand up, all right? You're going to be okay. You're like, oh, I can't. It's Friday. My hand only goes to here. All right, so just keep them up for a second. How many of you want to be failures? Really? Failure's good, but not for me. Failure's good, but for that guy over there. Failure's great. You're going to learn from it, my friend, but not here. Not here.
I think failure's good if you learn from it.
So if we look up failure in the dictionary, does it say, see, it depends? Probably not, but maybe.
You just use kind of two different words.
Exactly.
be a failure. So there are two different things, I think. One's a big picture thing, and the other
Exactly.
is a you know,
Is a specific
small-
thing. Oh, do you see the justification going on in here?
I'm a lawyer.
No. 100% I do that for a reason. Because I wait for that. I'm going to throw all that out of the water. You ready? Here's, for me, really what failure means. Failure is neither good nor bad. So if you're like, well then what is it? Failure is neither good nor bad. That's it. Failure is feedback. Period. Failure is feedback. We as human beings attach emotion to everything. You know what I'm talking about. Don't take it personally. And you're sitting there saying, well, how else am I supposed to take it? I am a person. Don't take it robotically, please. That's ridiculous. But it's about don't attach emotion to it. When we detach from emotion, failure becomes feedback. Failure is just a thing. Learn from it and move on. Period. That's a choice. Courage. Courage comes from the Latin cor, for heart. We need to lead from the heart. We need to understand what that looks like. There's a word that I love, sawubona. Sawubona is a Zulu greeting, which means we see you. Imagine walking down the street and having a connection with somebody and really being able to see them. We all want two things in this life. We want to be seen, validated, right? And we want to be listened to. Now notice I didn't say we want to be heard, because we can all hear the hum of the air, we can hear people kind of, writing or whatever it is, but we're not listening to that. We want to be listened to. Remember that as a leader, that people want to be listened to and they want to be seen. The LIGHT principle stands for love, integrity, gratitude, honor, and truth. That's the way I try to live my life every single day. And when I lead from that perspective, I have followers. It's as simple as that. So I want to go to confidence, because this, for me, I think is one of the most important aspects of what I talk about. I studied confidence for about a year with a sports psychologist in Florida. And we found some really amazing things. And as a leader, if we don't have this foundation, we're in trouble. Because people will know. And I'm sure at some point in your lives you've dealt with confidence issues. Everybody has. Someday, somewhere. I want you to think about when you were young and what that confidence maybe looked like for you as I share this story. When I was 13, I was the tallest kid in the class. I was the tallest girl. And I hated it. I hated every moment of it because I didn't want to stand out. Imagine. Here I am with what I do for a living. If you would have told me then that I'd be doing this, I would have told you were nuts. I didn't want to stand out. I just didn't. So I would walk around kind of with my head down. I wouldn't look the world in the eyes, and anytime I had a chance to lean, I would lean or sit on a table or do something trying to be shorter because all my friends were like this big. I just wanted to fit in. And the 8th grade yearbook came around, and they had the superlatives. You know what I'm talking about. Most this, best this. There was not a tallest category, so don't worry. But I was chosen as the most athletic girl in the 8th grade. And the boy who happened to be chosen as the most athletic boy happened to be, good old Josh Lipton, the shortest kid in the entire school. Yeah. So when it came time for the pictures for the yearbook, we're all lined up against the wall in the cafeteria, and everybody's in there. Everybody. I think it was everybody plus one. And they decided that it would be a really great idea to put Josh on a chair. I cannot make this up. You see my lean?
Yeah.
I am just barely taller than Josh while he's standing on a chair and I'm leaning. And I remember looking at this picture and seeing this picture when I ran home to show Mom the yearbook, Mom, check this out. Oh, forget it. Nothing to see here. Move along. Because I hated being tall. I felt like I was a giant in that picture. Now, today, I love being tall. I can reach the stuff on the top shelf no one else can reach. Every single time I'm in the grocery store. It just happened to me yesterday. I'm not even kidding. And I'm in the grocery store, and this lady's going like this. I'm like, can I help you? Yes, I'm trying to see if there's another one back there. I was like, this? Oh, thank you. It happens every time. I love it now because I'm not afraid to stand out now because I get it. And I used, unfortunately, my height, something that I couldn't control, and I made it my problem. So I want to end with this. This, to me, is what confidence looks like. I rewrote my story very quickly. And it was this. It was that I can't write a book. I can't because I didn't think I could publish it or nobody would know who I am. And in October of 2012, I put it together, and in December of 2012, it was out. And I rewrote my story about I can't run more than a mile. Last September, I ran my first 5K, and I'm doing it again in 2 weeks. And I finished it, and I want to beat my time. And my point of that is that you can. It's just about changing your story. It's about going from I can't to I did, because you know what? It's your choice. It's your choice, and people will follow that. So I want to say thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. I love all the smiling faces and the energy in this room. Please come back, and let's grow this, because I think this is fantastic. Thank you so much. We're actually going to take a 5-minute break. However, while we're doing the break, if you could pass this around, I'm going to do a drawing for an autographed copy of the book. You want to drop your business card in, and a free ticket to my next big event.